Now at 5, police in Aurora, Missouri investigate after a 15-year-old was hit by a car while crossing the highway. Plus, the Miners Hall Museum in Franklin, Kansas receives more than $300,000 and
the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is violently assaulted inside his home. I'm Michael George with the latest on his condition and what we know about the suspect.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
We have some late breaking news today. Fire crews at this moment battle a mobile home fire near Seneca, Missouri. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. That home is burning right now on Angus Drive near the Oklahoma line. Everyone was reported out of the residence. Writings Mill Fire responded along with Newton County Ambulance. They requested mutual aid from the Seneca, Quapaw, and Joplin Fire Departments. Our reporter Shannon Becker is on the scene, and we do hope to know more tonight at 6. A 15-year-old boy from Aurora, Missouri is critically injured after being hit by a car. Authorities say the boy and a friend were crossing Highway 60 in Lawrence County in low light conditions when he was hit. Police do not believe the driver was impaired. The boy has undergone surgery but remains in critical condition. The investigation continues. The Southwest Missouri woman who fled while bonded out on a murder charge is back in McDonald County. McDonald County Sheriff's deputies traveled to Indiana yesterday to pick up Dawn Wynn. Authorities arrested Wynn for the suspected shooting of her husband Harold Wynn last November. She was given a reduced bond of $100,000 surety, which means she paid 10% of it. Authorities say she was out on bond when she disappeared after saying she was suicidal. A warrant was issued which revoked her bond. Now Wynn is in the McDonald County Jail held on a no bond status. The Miners Hall Museum in Franklin, Kansas is getting a big grant and donation to help preserve a part of Southeast Kansas coal mining history. That check presentation today totaled more than $337,000. $225,000 of that comes from a state grant, and the Patterson Family Foundation gave more than $112,000. The money will go toward relocating and renovating a unique piece of machinery that was used to dig coal in Cherokee County. It's called a Big 618 walking drag line. That giant machine was donated by Wendell and Linda Wilkinson. It'll be relocated to the US 69 Kansas 47 junction just south of the museum in Franklin, where it should be a highly visible destination roadside attraction. Fort Scott Community College today unveiled the new look for the oldest building on campus. Renovation is complete now on Bailey Hall, a building that's partially the student union, partially the student success center. $1.6 million renovation includes new windows and an auditorium makeover. The building opened for tours today to show off the new look. The school received funding for that renovation in 2019. Let's check in with Doug for a first look at the weather.
Well, it actually turned out to be a nice Friday for us today. A lot of clouds out there, but temperatures great. Most of us upper 60s to near 70 degrees once you get out across parts of Oklahoma into Kansas. Of course, we have 4-state Friday night football. We are going to get some cloud interference, but temperature's great for football. You definitely need a jacket as we drop back through the 50s. A lot of clouds, but we're going to stay dry as we go through the evening hours. These clouds will continue to increase throughout the overnight hours. We're watching this storm system down across parts of Texas and Oklahoma, and this rain will slowly creep in our direction as we go through the next 24 hours or so. Through the evening hours, we'll drop back all the way down into the upper 40s. A lot of clouds increasing, of course, some weekend rain chances. We'll look at your trick-or-treat forecast all coming up here in just a bit.
See you then. Oklahoma authorities say the deaths of 8 people, including 6 children, found in a burning home in the Tulsa area last night is now being investigated as a murder-suicide. Broken Arrow Police Chief Brandon Berryhill says the 6 children range from 1 to 13 years old, and the 2 adults found dead are considered suspects. The causes of death are still under investigation, but the Broken Arrow Fire Chief says it does not appear anyone died because of the fire. The husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was violently assaulted in the family's San Francisco home. 82-year-old Paul Pelosi is expected to recover from the attack as investigators search for a motive. Reporter Michael George has that story.
A hammer-wielding intruder broke into the home of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi early Friday morning, brutally assaulting her husband Paul. A source tells CBS News the attacker was shouting, "Where is Nancy?"
Our officers observed Mr. Pelosi and the suspect both holding a hammer. The suspect pulled the hammer away from Mr. Pelosi and violently assaulted him with it.
Sources told the Associated Press Paul Pelosi was severely beaten with the hammer, causing blunt force trauma to the head and body. He's being treated for injuries including bruising and severe swelling, but is expected to make a full recovery. Police say the suspect, now in custody, was also taken to the hospital.
The suspect has been identified as 42-year-old David DePepe. Mr. DePepe will be booked at the San Francisco County Jail on the following charges: attempted homicide, assault with a deadly weapon, elder abuse, burglary, and several other additional felonies.
Investigators are trying to determine whether the attack was politically motivated. The Democratic speaker, who's the second in the line of succession to the presidency, was in Washington when the attack happened. The break-in is raising questions about the safety of not only members of Congress, but also their families, during a time when threats to lawmakers are at an all-time high. Paul Pelosi is an investor and lives mainly on the West Coast, but often joins the speaker for formal events. The White House says President Biden called the speaker to offer his support and said he condemns all violence. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
A law enforcement source confirmed the suspect had planned to tie up Paul Pelosi and to wait for Speaker Pelosi to return home. Still ahead, Elon Musk officially takes over Twitter, how he's already making changes to the social media giant. And next in Health Watch, ahead of World Stroke Day, health experts are raising awareness of a stroke's warning signs. Topping today's Health Watch, a new lung cancer drug has shown promising results in its first clinical trial. It's called NVL-520, and doctors in Spain say it's been successful at halting tumor growth in patients with non-small cell lung cancer with few side effects. But experts caution the drug is still only in its early testing stages. New research finds women with high COVID-19 stress were twice as likely to report changes in their menstrual cycle compared to those with less stress. In the University of Pittsburgh study, 12% of participants reported irregularities in length, duration, flow, and spotting, a finding researchers called alarming. More than half of participants reported at least one of those changes during the pandemic. Tomorrow is World Stroke Day, and experts want people to know the warning signs because getting to the hospital right away can save lives and lead to better outcomes. It's estimated more than 110 million people in the world have experienced a stroke. Reporter Dick Brennan has one survivor's story.
It's been 3 months since Thomas Mirswa suffered a stroke, which started with tingling and numbness in his left hand at work.
I figured it was a muscle reaction to overexertion over the weekend. And then I got up to deliver something to somebody's desk and realized that I was having trouble walking.
The healthy, active 64-year-old did not have risk factors like high blood pressure or diabetes. It was several hours before he went to the hospital.
If I thought of stroke, it might have handled things differently, but according to my physicians, I'm low risk in every category.
This little white cloud there in his thalamus is what's responsible for his sensory symptoms.
Neurologist Dr. Martin Gietze at Hackensack University Medical Center says, remember, be fast for warning signs: sudden trouble with balance or coordination, blurred or loss of vision, face drooping, arm weakness, slurred speech, and time to get to the hospital.
It's important to take all of the symptoms seriously. Even if they resolve, they may be a sign of something much worse to come.
It's estimated about 2 million brain cells die every minute that blood flow is blocked.
We have drugs and procedures which can reverse those plugged up blood vessels. You have up to 4.5 hours for the medication to be given.
I'm very grateful that my symptoms have not been more severe.
Thomas is doing physical and occupational therapy.
I have good days where I feel like I'm really on the trend to getting back to normal and reusing my left side. Other days that I feel like my left side is limp.
He hopes more people learn the symptoms and don't delay care. Dick Brennan, CBS News, New York.
Other risk factors for stroke include heart disease, high cholesterol, and smoking. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, what a new report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows about the rate of wage growth compared to inflation.
Plus, we do have some rain chances that we are tracking for the weekend. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice Friday for us today. Temperatures pretty good. Most of us upper 60s to near 70, but a lot of mid and upper level clouds have been increasing over the past few hours, which is very evident on our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just outside of Seneca, Missouri. But it's Friday. It looks pretty good as we go into the evening hours. If you are heading out to some four-state Friday night high school football games, you need a jacket, of course, or a hoodie. Temperatures are going to be dropping back through the 50s. A lot of cloud interference, but we're going to stay dry as we go through the evening hours, which is good. Temps right now, 68 in Anderson, 66 in Nevada, Pittsburgh at 66. We have Veneta checking in at about 70 degrees. And if we go to 7th and Rangeline, 67. Northerly winds at about 10. Humidity is low. It's at 31%. All right, through the overnight hours tonight into the morning hours, clouds continue to thicken. We may get a random shower in our southern counties by morning. We'll drop back to about 47 degrees, so a little bit chilly out there for the start on Saturday morning. But look at the clouds kind of thickening up from south to north over the past couple hours, and we're watching this system. You can see it across parts of Texas, southern parts of Oklahoma. It's an upper level low that's slowly going to work its way into southeastern parts of Missouri over the weekend. So this rain will gradually head in our direction over the next 24 hours or so. Let's go ahead and break it down for you. Tonight, we're going to stop at midnight, just a lot of clouds, random shower, southern counties. Random showers, southern counties to start the day. Most of us just clouds. We warm up near 60 by noon. You can see the rain getting into Benton County. As we get into the afternoon, showers spreading in from east to west, a little atypical for us, mainly along and south of the I-44 corridor. And then we'll just have periods of light showers kind of sticking around through the evening into the overnight hours tomorrow night. We'll go into Sunday morning, still some leftover showers to start the day here 7:30 in the morning, and then they will slowly dissipate as we get into Sunday afternoon. Temperatures right around 60, a little bit of sunshine out there starting to pop out by the time we head into Sunday afternoon. Now we're in Monday morning. We're going to start with some clouds, but then we'll get sunshine late in the day. So clouds all day long tomorrow, starting at 48, 60 by noon, 64 by 5. I think our high about 65. But those showers increasing late afternoon into the evening hours. You can see our rain chances very low tonight, and then they start to creep up after about 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock as we get into tomorrow afternoon. 65 tomorrow, 60 on Sunday. Here's Halloween, 68 degrees. Partly sunny skies. Let's look at your trick-or-treating forecast. Not bad. Look at the temps. 63 at 6, 59 by 7, 57 by 8 p.m. Plus, it's going to be dry. Then we bounce into the 70s as we go through next week. And better chances for widespread rain next weekend. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that tonight coming up at 6.
We certainly could use some more rain.
Yes.
Thanks, Dad. Coming up, how Elon Musk is already making changes at Twitter. First, though, we honor a local veteran. John Martin III joined the U.S. Army in 2006. The Carthage, Missouri native was stationed at Fort Bennington in Georgia, and we salute John Martin III, a four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, it appears workers are getting paid more, but inflation might have them feeling like they're getting paid less. The Bureau of Labor Statistics released its quarterly employment cost index. Wages and salaries for workers rose 1.3% in the third quarter and more than 5% of the years ending in September. When the numbers are adjusted for rising prices, though, wages and salaries have actually declined 3% over the year. 300 business groups are calling on President Biden to intervene in the ratification of the agreement between rail unions and freight railroads The president helped broker that tentative agreement last month. In a letter, the group said a rail shutdown would have a significant impact on the economy and lead to more inflationary pressure. 6 unions have ratified that deal. 2 voted it down. 4 have not voted. Unions that vote against the deal could authorize a strike if there are no new agreements by November 19th. Elon Musk is now in charge of Twitter. His $44 billion deal ends a drawn-out and contentious courtship. Now, the big question is, how will the world's richest person work to reshape the social media giant? Reporter Nichelle Medina has the latest.
Billionaire Elon Musk took control of Twitter at the end of a months-long legal battle with the social media giant. After carrying a sink into Twitter's San Francisco headquarters, Musk began cleaning house, reportedly ousting several top executives. In a tweet, the Tesla and SpaceX CEO added Chief Twit to his list of titles.
I think he's clear that he's going to take it in a different direction.
So far, Musk, a vocal advocate of free speech, has shared few specifics on how he plans to run Twitter and structure its content policy.
If what he's talking about is getting rid of all content moderation, that is not going to be a forum for discourse, for persuasion, for actual give and take. That is going to be the hellscape that he described in his email to advertisers yesterday.
Friday, Musk tweeted he'll be forming a content moderation council with widely diverse viewpoints, saying no major content decisions or account reinstatements will happen before the council convenes.
He's made clear, for example, that he is going to reassess the way that lifetime bans work. And Donald Trump is the first name you think about when that happens.
Twitter permanently banned former President Trump from the platform 2 days after the January 6th assault on the U.S. Capitol. Friday morning, the account of Ye, the rapper known as Kanye West, appeared to be reactivated. It was locked earlier this month after a post threatened Jewish people. Nichelle Medina, CBS News.
The New York Stock Exchange suspended trading in Twitter stock today. The shares will be delisted on November 8th, according to a filing with securities regulators. Ahead of the busy shopping season, Amazon wants to make it easier for customers to pay for items by giving them yet another way to pay. The online retailer has begun allowing select shoppers to use Venmo at checkout. PayPal, which owns Venmo, says it wants to make the payment service available on Amazon for all U.S. users by Black Friday. Americans are going to get another chance to become multi-millionaires tomorrow with the second largest Powerball jackpot ever. The amount is now a whopping $800 million after 36 straight drawings with no grand prize winner. The cash option for Saturday's jackpot is just over $383 million. Still, it's not too bad. Final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, Steve Hartman brings us the story of a high school student who's stepping up and demanding better. Then on KOAM News at 6, a Neosho, Missouri man is sentenced for child molestation. Plus, we're going to have more on how the Miners Hall Museum in Franklin, Kansas is using more than $300,000. And we're going to hear from the Pittsburgh High School football head coach as the Purple Dragons host the first round of the playoffs. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. All right, you've heard of horseshoes, but what about horse sneakers? A Kentucky company called Horse Kicks is billing itself as the world's first online custom sneaker retailer exclusively for your horse. The company is offering horse versions of popular sneakers such as Yeezys and Air Jordans. The price tag, $1,200 per shoe. And you can't even play horseshoes with them. Your horse maybe could play basketball with them.
Yeah.
And it would be the most fashionably dressed horse on the block, I'm sure.
Some people are going to buy them.
Want to bet? No, you're probably right. The weather.
Looks pretty good for us tonight. A lot of clouds. 65 tomorrow. We get some showers in here late afternoon.
Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. We'll see you right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.